Hey, good morning, folks. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Sorry about that. You ought to see the buttons we have on this software, and I hit the wrong one, so I kind of prematurely ended the stream. But let's get into it. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. Good morning to Mark Ambrosi in the area with the heavy rain developing now. So very interesting day. So what's happening is the storm center, this was, as you well know, what was Hurricane Beryl. So this storm, believe it or not, actually came from Africa all the way across the Atlantic, through the Caribbean, hit Cancun, hit the Yucatan Peninsula, I should say, up into Texas, and now is heading through our area. So the storm center is moving off toward the northeast, and we'll get on what I call the backside of the storm, and it's going to be a windy, raw, nasty rain. We've gotten through the huge rain. Some spots now, Burton reporting almost 6 inches of rain because of a heavy thunderstorm yesterday. Spot in Lansing, probably 4 or 5 inches. A spot over toward Kalamazoo, 4 or 5 inches. Still 1 or 2 inches to fall in the eastern part of the state. So let's get on into it, and I'll show you what's going on. We're going to start off with the radar, and because this is a tropical rain, it doesn't show up the greatest on our radars. They do have the color bank and the mode changed to kind of a tropical mode. But what you're seeing is a blossoming of a larger area of steady, moderate to at times heavy rain from Flint to east of Lansing, through Oakland County, through Macomb Township, and down toward Ann Arbor. Now, I want to take you to the west side of the state radar. And you can still see some bands of downpours, but you'll notice that it's more sporadic. And that's the story also today, is that aside from this pocket of steady, solid rain from Genesee County into Oakland County to near Jackson, aside from that pocket, it's going to be more sporadic type rains for today. Okay, so here's the interesting part. So this is the satellite picture. Okay. And Tiger ball game tonight, J.J. Johnson. I'm assuming they're in Detroit. I don't know. I can't keep track, and we don't get that on our cable. Possible. Very on the fence there, because you'll be sporadic rainfall. You will have rainfall, but is it enough for them to say cancel? I would lean toward yes, but I'm not an expert on how they cancel. So what you're noticing, see the brighter, taller clouds that stick up and have developed in that area of solid rain? That's what's going on, is the thunderstorm clouds, if you will, are gradually building. Another good way to look at it is with a different lens on the satellite. This is what we call the long wave infrared, and notice the blue developing there in Genesee County to east of Lansing and into Oakland County. That is the convection developing, and that's the main area of rain right now. Here's a good look too, solid composite radar, also showing. Let me get it so you can see it nicely. Hey, good morning. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. So you can see now that we're to light to moderate bands of showers with that more solid, heavier rain. And this can just kind of evolve through the day. So I would say everything is shifting into the southeast third of the state, from Flint to Lansing and down to the southeast. And that's where we pick up with the radar forecast for you. And this will give you a good feel. Let me get a nice perspective for you here. This will give you a good feel for how things are going to evolve in your location today. So we go into noon, and that solid area of rain, Genesee County, starts to shift into the thumb. And the rain elsewhere is breaking down somewhat, but the eastern half of the state still, you could get socked in by rain. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still raining, off and on sporadic with some downpours in the eastern side of the state. Ann Arbor, all of the Detroit area, all of the thumb, Saginaw, Bay City, Flint, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, you start to get more dry periods this afternoon. Now we go to 6 o'clock, starting to break down. Still some areas of light rain around, but the flooding would be done. And then we go to 9 o'clock tonight, and you can still get some 15-minute spurts of showers, even a brief downpour, but becoming very isolated. And then I think as we go to 3 a.m., we consider it pretty much all over. Now the winds, the next thing on the backside of this storm system. This is a pretty cranked up storm for this time of the year. And so you see the current wind gusts on the north side of Detroit. Now notice where the circulation center is, almost the eye, so to speak, of the storm. What used to be the eye. This was an eye of a hurricane out in the Caribbean, and now this is just the center of what we would call a non-tropical storm system. Cat Popor, I hear what you're saying, but right now I'm focusing on the details of our area with the storm system. I will fan out some. And there you can see that really the action is over us. There's really not a lot to see in other states. So these are the current wind gusts. And then we go to the model and the forecast of the wind gusts. So let's go to noon, and 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock. So this afternoon your wind gusts are going to come up. They're going to come up to about 30 to maybe 40 miles an hour. That's for Ann Arbor and all of Oakland County and all the Lansing area and Jackson up through Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, Flint also, the thumb also. And as you get west of Lansing, your gusts will only be in the 20s and 30s. And now we're at 6 o'clock this evening. It's a nasty north gusty wind for mid-July. You know, this is the day to find the classic summer movie. What do you like to watch on a day like today? I always like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's a no-brainer. I always stop at that one if it's streaming. I always stop at Breakfast Club if that one's on somewhere. Let's see, what else? I always stop at Jaws 1. Jaws 2 and on, I just blow right by. But Jaws 1, always stop at that. So, oh, there we go. Jason Lemire. Godzilla Marathon. Interesting. What's your favorite rainy midsummer take you back to when you were younger movie? I wonder what the generation after me, you know, folks that are in their 30s and 40s, what is your take me back to summer? Ed Johnson, Shark Week. You know what? I'm kind of sick of the Shark Week thing, to be honest with you. It was novel. There we go, Paul Wisniewski. Porky's. Yes, a classic. Police Academy, a classic too. All right, so let's keep going on the weather. So here's 9 o'clock, 10, 11, midnight, 1, 2. So the wind gusts, we can tolerate them, 30 to 40 miles an hour. Nasty through the afternoon, evening, coming down quickly, and the west side of the state coming down quickly as well. All right, total additional precipitation. And you can see Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Lansing, you've got 1/10 to 3/10 of an inch in spurts of rain. Ann Arbor, you might still have an inch. Days of Thunder, Top Gun, yes, that's a good one. Smokey and the Bandit, Keith McNeil comes up with one. American Graffiti, yes, great day for that. Cancel all productivity plans and let's just go classic summer movies on a rainy, windy day. You like that idea? All right, let's look a little bit closer at this. I think I had this for you next. Yes, I do. So this is a little bit closer at where the action is actually going to be. I'm working on always developing the graphics. We, quote unquote, buy these graphics from a meteorologist friend that I have that programs this site, Weather Models. So, it's not always made for broadcast viewing. I will admit that. So you're looking at southern Michigan, and you see that the thumb could still have up to 2 inches coming. Genesee County could have another inch. Saginaw County, Bay County could have another inch. The Detroit area, maybe some spots with an inch. All right, we're looking for more classic movies so I can go through and figure out what I want to watch today. So there's your rainfall. West side of the state, tolerable amounts. East side of the state, you still have a dousing. A young Frankenstein. Okay, now we go into the future. So the story here is, let me jump back with you. Hey there, MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa with the MLive Morning Weather Update. Thanks for joining me. We've got several hundred on here. We're talking classic summer movies. I recommended Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I will always watch. Now, what's interesting is my wife, I can't say if she's older or not, but we weren't born in the same year. Her Fast Times at Ridgemont High is Dazed and Confused with Matthew McConaughey. I watch it with her, with Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Top Gun, oh, definitely. All of the Top Guns, definitely. SG-1, I'm not sure what that one is. Summer Vacation with John Candy, those are good ones too. Yes. So, scenario is going into the future. So we get the storm system out of the area today. Showed you all that. The air will be kind of lazy around us. We will have a north wind, so I don't think it'll be extremely tropical. But remember, we have a lot of moisture to evaporate over the next few days. So as it heats up, the humidity is going to go up as well. We're going to be very summery into the weekend, early next week, and then we'll have our next cold front that will cool us down for a couple of days. So that's what this graphic is going to show you. This is the one map that a meteorologist, any meteorologist, if I talk to all of my meteorologist friends, we say, hey, we get one map and that's all we get. This is the one we're going to use. It's called the 500 millibar map. That's 500 millibars up in air pressure, about the mid-level of the atmosphere, the steering currents, and we can see the storm system. So that's what I'm going to show you. And then you'll see kind of the general trend of what we have coming. So we go out 16 days with this. Here's our storm system. See what a bend in the jet stream looks like at this time of the year? That's significant. That's a storm system. The opposite of that would be a high pressure ridge, and it would be a dry thing. We still have these little troughs coming through. It's a very dirty upper air pattern with these little disturbances, and because of so much residual moisture, we're going to be kind of plagued with spotty thunderstorms that will not play real well in the forecast. It'll be almost a roll your eyes forecast, because you're going to see some thunderstorms almost every day. Possibility. This is the late afternoon spotty storm. Now, this is by Wednesday, and so what you see is a trough coming down. That's a cold front. That's probably when we finally have the humidity scour out for a couple of days. Then we go to Saturday, July 20th, and the atmosphere starts to build again on heat. But again, no real sign of a long-lasting heat, and no real sign that the rain's shut off. We're still in the storm track there, and we can still get severe thunderstorms. We still get a break and a rain every 3-4 days. So if you're looking for a week of dry weather for, say, painting the house or something outside, it's not in this pattern. The Pacific is going to continue to give us storm systems. Greece, that's a pretty good one. Casey. Yes, Paul Wisniewski. Anytime the AC is off, it's great. Uncle Buck, that's a classic also. Trying to think of the other classic. I mean, for my generation, Breakfast Club is probably one of the, classic ones. So today we're 60s and 70s, depending on how much rain you get. Tomorrow we're back to 80 degrees, and I think it'll be fairly humid. And already Friday, whoo-hoo! I think we'll be in the low 80s. Saturday, we're upper 80s, and that means the moisture is evaporating. Going in the lower part of the atmosphere means it's getting really, really summery on Saturday, and the same deal for Sunday. This is an all-out, find your favorite Michigan water hole or pool type weekend. Monday in the 80s. Tuesday, 80s to near 90 ahead of the cold front. And then remember I showed you a cold front at some point on Wednesday. And cool us a touch for a couple of days, 70s, bouncing back to 80. Hey, what about, Shawshank Redemption, Mark Alfier, and Goodfellas? Those are great movies. I don't get those as like a, it's summer, I want to reminisce type movie. And you know what one I'm not real fond of is Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know. It's classic, dumb 80s movie. Weekend at Bernie's, maybe I gotta try it again. Also, the Adam Sandler movies. I like the grown-ups. But the other ones, everybody's into the Happy Gilmore, and there's the one where he's like part angel or devil or something. Is it Little Nicky? I don't think so. I'm just a water boy. I don't know. I'm just not a real big fan of those when all the rest of the world is, for whatever reason. Hey, while we're at it, we're having fun. You're learning some things about me. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brighton Zurcher. I gave you a lot of weather, so I figured I can ramble now and you can leave me if you want. Dirty Dancing is a good one. Dirty Dancing is definitely a good one. Back to the Future, good call, because that's a 3 or 4. that you can get into. The one last thing I'll leave you with that, I told you, Adam Sandler, world loves him. A couple of movies are okay. And much to my wife's chagrin, rock bands. One of the greatest ever, Metallica. For me, for the rest of the rockers of my age, awesome. I had kind of a bad experience with Metallica in college. I went to a party with a bunch of computer programmers, and they were playing the fastest thrash of Metallica. They were just out. This was in the mid 80s, 86, 87, something like that. And it just didn't get into my ears, and I always then kind of held it against them. So I'm trying now, because my wife is Metallica. She's Metallica and Van Halen. I am Ozzy, Black Sabbath. They make fun of me because I can go anywhere from Black Sabbath to Carpenters. So, I don't know. Maybe I need help. But let's get back to the weather. Okay? How's that sound? All right. So, you've seen the temperatures. And one last thing. The humidity. The dew point. So, I believe that the dew points are going to stay in the 60s to at times near 70 when the heat comes out. And this kind of indicates that. It also indicates that this north wind will help kind of balance off what would be an extremely... Eagles, yes. Chloe Valentine, I am there. And Godsmack, I'm there, although I don't know a lot of their songs, but I am there too. And something about Mary, a great movie. So we go into Friday. Now, as we heat up into the weekend, you're going to notice the humidity goes up. So what I'm going to tell you is that, yes, after we get rid of this storm system, we are definitely going to have a very summery type pattern on the way. All right, we had some fun today. We had some interaction. We got some movies to watch. One big thing is we all kind of canceled our productivity. If you own a lawn care company, hopefully you canned the idea of working long ago yesterday. Anyone else? Canned the idea also, and we're going to just go and try to find some good old-fashioned classic summertime reminisce movies. Let's get some bands. Joe Narwatt, Goo Goo Dolls, you and I could hang. Beach Boys, Michelle, we could hang there too. Jason Lemire and I could hang. Wayne Bjorkland, Pink Floyd, there you go. There you go. That's probably one of the best ever. We can hang anytime you want to listen to some Pink Floyd, Wayne. Hey, thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by Consumers Energy. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a great day. Find yourself a good summer movie, and let me know in the comments how it went. Take care.